Hi guys, I'm back for another fan fiction reading. This is gonna be Gas Dreams Part 4, I think. I'm not sure if I've read this already, but it's Chapter 4, titled A Better Chance. Scootaloo and Vinyl had gotten up early and replaced the camping gear Vinyl kept in store. The pair had remained mostly silent throughout the morning. The eccentric mare would simply continue to smile whenever Scootaloo caught sight of her. Over the previous night, she had shared a few bits of information about herself. They had taken the time to learn the less personal bits of each other's lives. Turns out Vinyl was in a similar position as Scootaloo in the forest. Neither had a real destination in mind, simply traveling where they pleased. It was liberating. It was a liberating feeling for the filly. That's hard. Someone needs to say that 3 times fast. The two continued down the road in silence for a short while. They had been walking for longer than the filly had noticed before that Scootaloo was beginning to feel the effects of the of long distance movement. So, where now? She finally broke the silence. Vinyl turned to her, grinning more. Ah, so you can talk, huh? Sweet! She went to the side of the path and took a seat. Scootaloo followed. Well, alright then. Let's check it out. We can stay on this road here and move on to who knows what for a while. Pull a left up there and hit Manhattan in about 2 hours, or head right and circle back to Ponyville. What sounds good? Wait, you want me to pick? I don't know anything about this. You've made it this far, haven't you? Scootaloo nodded. So lead the way, Captain. Just go with it. We'll get somewhere eventually. Before Scootaloo had time to consider the options more in her stomach began to growl, designed for them. I'm getting kinda hungry. Where can we get some food? Manhattan it is. Good choice. She stood and made her way once again down the road, with the filly close in tow. She waited until they were a short way farther. Hey, you're being too loud. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Vinyl noticed Scootaloo continued the distracted behavior and watched her for a moment. You know, talking about it will make you feel better. Scootaloo let out a sigh. Vinyl was right. She needed to tell some pony eventually, and it wasn't right to keep following her around with no explanation. So she began recapping the past few weeks, hopefully conveying the story clearly to the DJ who had listened intently. Nodding occasionally, including bits about the powder she had been drinking to grow her wings out, her idol, and the dream she had always held into including Dash. She finished the story with Rainbow's denial and her plan to leave town. Let me adjust the microphone. It's too close to my face. As she thought about it more, it was a bad plan to begin with, but it looked to be working so far. The farther she got from her former hero, the better. So then, so that's it then. Wow, tough break. Yeah, what did I expect? She was going to be famous? The what? Yeah, what did I expect? She was going to be famous. Oh, okay. The filly's head dropped. You thought every pony does. No pony deserves to be thrown away because some pony else gets more popular. She paused for a moment. So, where are your folks from all this? She could hear Scootaloo's steps halt for a second as the words hit, and wondered if she struck a raw nerve. They're, they're dead. Both of them. She lied. I made it all like dramatic and stuff. But was afraid to admit how terrible her parents had been outside of Ponyville. Being heavy party ponies, they messed up. And this is why I don't like making recordings right now. Awkward. they, they're both dead. Both of them, she lied. But was afraid to admit how terrible her parents had been outside Ponyville. Being heavy party. Oh my god, they're pinkies. They had Scooby accidentally never wanting her. She was forced to care for herself from an early age. This usually left her hungry and alone in the world while her parents slept off hangovers. They never beat her, maybe because she was too young, but she didn't stick around long enough to actually find out. Scroll down, please. After they left, One night, she grabbed her satchel and headed for Ponyville, already knowing Sweetie Belle would hide herself from any pony who not scrolling down. It's a good thing I'm saving money to get a new computer because this is getting retarded. Alright, back to this thing because I can't seem to get my computer to scroll down for whatever reason. Dad, that's all? Alright then, so this Rainbow Dash, she was more than just a hero then, wasn't she? A real role model. Lionel knew if the young Pegasus wasn't lying, then something much worse happened. Something she wouldn't want to make Scoodloo uncomfortable about. Not anymore, she replied coldly. Her wounds are still fresh. Don't worry, Scoots. I'll keep an eye on you. Sound good? Thanks, Vinyl. That means a lot, she grinned at her friend. Maybe things will turn out okay. You've got guts, kid. You remind me a lot of myself at your age. She turned her head to meet the orange Pegasus's gaze from behind her sunglasses. Well, except from the obvious being a unicorn, that is. My mom kicked it early off. I was still pretty young, but Dad took it rough. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Nah, it's cool, kid. Let's just say he wasn't the same stallion after her. Why am I talking like Applejack? I took off not long after that. Not as easy making it in the city, though. Her words faded as she reminisced of her own past experience. She hadn't found any pony to help her when she was on her own. It's a hard life. She would spare Scoodloo of it. Both continued in silence for a while, happy in the moment that they shared briefly. Y'all see anything? The yellow pony, the yellow earth pony called up to her friend at the edge of the woods. Sweetabelle had climbed into a tree for a better view over the trees, but she was met by a thicker layer of branches, both fitted in their probably go up to Cloudsdale. Probably. Anyways, but we aren't Scoodloo. Well, duh, but if we were, where would you go? I guess so. Better hurry, though, we're gonna lose her. She galloped down the path into the forest with her friend close behind, making their way down the path to find her lost Pegasus Crusader. Do you think she's still here? Only one way to find out. Now come on, hurry up. A short run later, they found themselves in the bend in the path. Rounding the corner, they caught sight of another traveler going down the opposite direction. A blue Pegasus, walking casually down the road while observing the scenery absent-mindedly. The two Philly Crusaders saw a new opportunity for for a clue and stopped before him. It was weird because it says opportunity for clue. That's okay. Hey, mister, you wouldn't happen to have seen our friend back there, would you? Applejack asked. He stopped and looked down at the two ponies blankly. Maybe, he replied, looking back down the path behind him and then back. The pair waited. The pair waited for further explanation. He was not giving any. Well, the Earth Pony tried again. She's a Pegasus like yourself. You had to have seen her. Oh yes, I do remember some pony like that, the stranger said. And once again failed to give the Crusaders what they would consider help. That's it's like the equivalent of being like, "Hey, have you seen my shoes?" Yeah. It's oh my goodness. I've had so much personal experiences like that. Can you tell me where she went? He thought for a moment, bringing a hook to his chin. Sure, met up with some unicorn, said something. He trailed off. Oh, come on! Sweetbell exclaimed frustration with the vague answers. Do you know where they're going? Is that is that pony buffet? I can't even say this. That's pretty funny, my friend. He asked neither in particular, snapping back when he realized they had questioned him again. I forget, but she met up with some pony who went that way. He indicated the path behind him. Thanks, I think, Apple Bloom replied shortly before grabbing her friend and pulling her down the path. A safe distance away, they returned to a gallop and sped down the path with a new lead, shaky at best. It was something. You really think we can trust him? Sweetie Belle asked her friend. We ain't got a choice, Scootaloo. Could be in danger. Who knows this other pony? It's a combination of Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. That's pretty much it. They followed the winding road expertly, taking shortcuts through underbrush that to any full-grown pony was easily stepped over. But to the small ponies it was more difficult to leap over. On one such bush, as Apple Bloom was leaping an overgrown root, her cape tugged at her, and she tore it away without thought. There were more important things to worry about in her young mind. Vinyl and Scootaloo reached Manhattan in the afternoon. The city was unlike anything the filly had ever seen before. Her eyes lit up at the scene around her. The buildings were taller than anything in Ponyville. There were ponies everywhere, going from place to place, and their roads were wide and full of carts. It was almost magical. Her mood improved greatly at the sight, as well as her hunger. The smells of the city were delicious shops and restaurants that seemed to pull her in. Vinyl watched the filly's excitement grow as the new sights hit her. Come on, kid. Let's go grab some food before you pass out. Scootaloo smiled up, and it vanished as the new realization settled in. Oh, but I don't have any bits. She let her head fall a little lower as she questioned her hobo of the woods. Face my wrath. I'm not even gonna tell you people where that quote's from. No prob. I didn't expect you to. It's on me. Are you sure? Duh. Now come on, I'm starving. She turned and made her way down one of the many streets, swaying and bobbing her head gently. Scootaloo happily joined her. Wow, no pony has ever been this nice before. Rainbow Dash would never do this. I can't believe I didn't see it before. She took the pace beside the unicorn, who was smiling once again as they walked, soon coming up to a small restaurant and stepping inside. Not unlike those in Ponyville, there were few tables scattered, God, I can't even say that, scattered about with city ponies eating quietly. The pair took a spot in a corner and settled in. Scootaloo lifted the menu and froze. She had never heard of any of the food choices on it. Assortments of soups, salads, sandwiches, and desserts filled the page. She froze for a moment and looked at Vinyl, who was holding back from laughter at her lost expression. After navigating the menu with the unicorn explaining the various items, she decided to get a sub sandwich she was fairly certain she recognized. After a short while in silence, the food was presented. She ate hers with more excitement than she had meant. The Pegasus hadn't realized how hungry she was before. It was fulfilling to eat quality food. Her last meal had been a less than ideal meal by Sweetie Belle and a few apples she had collected. That was nearly a full day ago at this point. A full day ago since she left her life behind. Her friends, her school, everything she had finally grown used to. She looked away. Her eyes were burning as she thought about abandoning every pony. The DJ looked curiously at her, not wanting to interrupt what looked to be a sensitive moment. Behind her shades, she felt her own eyes squint. The mare knew exactly what Scootaloo was thinking now. She had felt the same way years ago. The orange filly needed a friend right now, and she would be there. Scootaloo hadn't realized before that she had not only left her former idol behind, but what had become of her family in time she lived there. None of them knew much about her personal life. None of them knew her lack of parents or a proper home. Even so, they tried to care about her. She contemplated going back. But to what? What if they didn't miss her, or even notice that she was gone? Vinyl had only known her a day, and she was already closer than any of them had tried to be. Was I really that simple to them? She asked herself as she sat. After a moment, she noticed that Vinyl had stopped eating as well, watching her through the dark glasses. Scootaloo pushed her thoughts from her mind and focused back to the white mare. Hey, why do you wear those all the time? She indicated the glasses with a small hoof. Oh, these? The DJ lifting her own eyes to feel her glasses, her own hoof to feel the glasses. I don't know, I just kinda had them forever. It's what makes me, well, Me, you know? Well, I guess that makes sense. Where'd you get them? Lionel considered the question for a moment. She debated telling the filly that the truth of their origin was simply shrugging it off. Choosing the latter would break what she was working towards. Come on, I'll tell you in a bit. She laid some money on the table, and the two walked out of the restaurant and down one of the busy streets. The sun was still high in the sky, and with its new hope and a better life for the young Pegasus. The remaining memory of Rainbow Dash's denial pushed her to live a better life here than before. Alright, another chapter done. Man, I love this story. It's pretty badass, man. And I vaguely remember reading this. So I'm gonna stop this now because I don't want. Because for those people that don't know, it takes triple the amount of time to post a video than it does to make it. So yeah.